I decided that there was a cat issue in terms of not enough of them were being adopted, and felt like I could make a difference in increasing the cat adoption rate.
Cats are kind of the underdog of the pet world and really need our help to help elevate their status in the eyes of the general public and show everybody what they're capable of.
When we kind of were trying to form a way to learn more about cats in shelters and how to help them become more adoptable. So Dave Lerner and his interest in wanting to better the situation of cats definitely caught my attention.
CLIC, which stands for the Clicker Learning Institute for Cats and Kittens, is a 501c3 nonprofit. Simply loving cats. There are many that are worthy of living in a forever home.
A lot of cats in shelter situations are really afraid. We're working on trying to develop a temperament assessment that will allow us to begin or know where to begin a behavior modification program. We can promote changes in their emotional state with counter conditioning and other techniques that help them be less afraid. So we're actually changing how they feel about that stimulus or that person or that sound so that they're less afraid overall, not just acting different. We're kind of always trying to decide about what kind of behavior we're trying to modify. Is it a fearful behavior, or is it a new behavior that we need to teach them to do sort of voluntarily?
Clicker training is a really fun method of training any kind of animal, and it actually started decades ago with marine mammals, the same concept. And they use it a lot in zoos to train animals to accept husbandry and care. The click serves as a bridge between the desired behavior and the fact that a reward is coming. And for most animals, the reward that we use is food, and that's because typically food is a pretty high value motivator for most animals, and it's easy to give, and it's quick, and you can move on to the next behavior. So this is Hazelnut. We're just going to start clicker training with Hazelnut. So she's been working with us for a little bit now. If this were her first day, we would just click and offer a treat, click, offer a treat, click, offer a treat several times over, so she starts to get that association that click means treat. We're going to move on to just targeting, which means that she will touch her nose to this target stick. This is the first behavior we typically teach because it's real easy for most animals, and it helps solidify that association between the click and the reward in a behavior. So I'm just going to present this target stick. You could also just use your finger or something else in front of her face, and as soon as she touches it, I'm going to click and give her a food reward. Every cat is a little bit different, but a lot of times typically what we'll do is have that target stick that they already know means something in the palm of our hand, and we'll see if they'll reach up and use their paw to touch my hand and that stick. And so depending on where the animal is in the learning of the behavior, I might click and treat for just the slightest paw movement, even if she doesn't raise it more than 1/4 of an inch off the floor. At this point, I think she is able to do more than that. She knows to do more than that, so I'm holding off with that click until she reaches toward my hand. Even if at this point she doesn't actually touch my hand, I'm okay with that.
It will be around for at least 4 years in terms of its mission of spreading the word about the trainability and behavior modifications that can be done.
We're putting a lot of effort into designing such a program and testing it and doing that with some scientific rigor. So hopefully other shelters can benefit from that and learn from our mistakes so that they don't have to make them with their shelter personnel and their time. Being the biggest factor in play for a lot of shelter decisions. Definitely help other shelters make decisions better about how to help cats become more adoptable when they may not initially present as adoptable, and how long is it likely to take and what kind of process should they be following. So a friendly, sociable, approaching cat makes people feel like that's something that they, a cat that they can make a connection with.
Dream end result is to, while we're working with the Fort Collins Cat Rescue Clinic here, is to show that we can have an impact on increasing their adoption numbers, especially for cats that are over 5-6 years old, where the adoption rate is a dismal 1 to 5%. Most people want young cats, don't think that older kitties are worthy of being adopted, and we're showing that we can train those cats and make them attractive to potential adopters, which we have done.